Hello everybody, this is Lara with your Friday update for Bitcoin and XRP. There was no video yesterday because New York was closed for Labor Day. Price is still within this rectangle. It entered this rectangle on the 28th of February back here, 27th, 28th, roundabout back there. And it's been going sideways with a slight downward slope ever since. We've had swings from resistance to support, resistance, support, resistance, support. Each time prices hit support, we've had overshoots, so we've had lower lows, and so far we do have lower highs within this movement. It is, however, mostly sideways. It's not a very obvious downward slope. It's got a very strong sideways movement to it, and that's really typical of a consolidation. And the largest picture on the monthly time frame still is very obviously Bitcoin in an upward trend. So this is most likely a rectangle, but it's got a bit of a downward slope. So I've added this trend channel. Last time price came up to resistance, it fell a little bit short of the upper edge of resistance. If it comes down to support, I'll look for support at the lower edge of this trend line, but before it gets down there, it looks like it maybe have found support about 56,500 because the last completed candlestick is now a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern, and it has a little bit of a push from volume, so we can have confidence in it. I was expecting a downward swing to end maybe about 57,000 on 1st of September. I am expecting overall an upward swing from the last overshoot of support up to resistance, but I keep saying don't expect price to move in a straight line. These swings can be very choppy and overlapping. And here is first pullback within this upward swing, second pullback within this upward swing. So now I'm expecting overall upward movement to continue to this pink trend line in the first instance, and I expect the probability that we're going to get an upward breakout next time price gets up to resistance is fairly decent. I want to see a close above 73,100 followed by 2 or 3 green daily candlesticks up and away to filter out a false upward breakout before I have confidence that the rectangle is complete. It is also possible we could see a downward breakout from the rectangle. If that happens, I would still expect Bitcoin is in a larger secular bull market. Within the secular bull market, there have been bear markets of up to a year which have reduced price value by 80 to 90+%, but the bigger picture when you look at the monthly time frame and the entire price history of Bitcoin is still a secular bull market, a series of higher highs and higher lows. And so what I'm trying to draw your attention to is the larger picture will remain bullish even if we get a breakout below the lower edge of the rectangle. If we get that, then I'll take the width of the rectangle, deduct that distance from the breakout point, and that's where I will expect support to be found. That is entirely possible. The last completed upward session, a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern, does have a little bit of a push from volume compared to the 2 previous sessions, so there is a little bit of support for that upward movement, suggesting that we've had the end of that little pullback. On balance, volume gave a bearish signal that may now be resolved, or at least the follow through after the bearish signal may now have happened, so there's no new range and no new signal. ADX is increasing, telling us there's a downward trend. It's a long way to go before it's extreme at this time frame. RSI is neutral, it's not oversold, but at the last low on the 5th of August, RSI had reached oversold again, and exhibited bullish divergence. So if the larger secular bull market remains intact, which is very likely, it's very likely that the 5th of August low is not going to be breached, that low is going to be sustained for a long time, because RSI doesn't tend to get oversold that often in a pullback in the larger bull market. And money flow also exhibits bullish divergence. So with those two both exhibiting bullish divergence, the probability that the 5th of August low remains intact is now somewhat reasonable. Price is moving lower, and volume overall and range are declining. So there's not a lot of strength in this downward movement. My Elliott Wave count for XRP today is going to consider that a double zigzag could be complete now for Minuet Wave 2. I was expecting a sharp thrust down to find support maybe about 50 cents. I think it might not get that low now because the last completed candlestick for 2nd of September is a nice strong bullish engulfing candlestick pattern, suggesting that we've had a trend change at the 1st of September low. So now the Elliott Wave count expects a third wave at minuet and minute degree. I will expect it to break above the upper edge of this channel. I've copied over from the weekly chart. We may get a pullback of support after a breakthrough and then a move up and away. XRP is in essentially a big sideways consolidation, currently finding resistance at 62 cents, and support has been tested again and has held about 55 cents. And now I expect overall an upward swing. Let's see how price behaves when it gets again to resistance at 62 cents. Price was moving lower to test support at 55 cents and volume was declining. The bullish engulfing candlestick pattern has a small increase in volume beyond the immediately two prior sessions, giving it a little bit of support from volume and giving us a little bit of confidence in that signal. On balance, volume is within a new range, there's no new signal. ADX is below 15, that's too low to indicate a trend. With no clear trend indicated, stochastics has reached oversold. Price is bouncing up off support of 55 cents. The model of stochastics plus support and resistance would expect stochastics to now continue higher toward overbought and price to continue higher toward resistance. When they get there simultaneously, that may be where and when the upward swing ends. So use those resistance levels identified on the price chart. That's it from me with a quick update for you today. I hope you all had a lovely weekend.